Nicole likes to boast. Aunt Jordan likes to roast. Sir Charles keeps it crisp. She cues the butter to the toast. Now it's time to keep it real. Competition not close. One stop for debating reality shows, and this kids be the mo. I'll be damn. I'll be damn. I'll be damn. Podcast going ham. I'll be damn.
I'll be damn. We back once again. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button at the bottom. If you like what we're talking about, hit the like button. Please leave your comments in the bottom of the comment section, even if they're good or bad. We want everyone's feedback. And we got two special guests here today. Isaiah Stanback, my boy Jared from Steadfast Fitness. Both these guys are calling from Steadfast Fitness. We got Sir Charles and Nick Nicole. My boy Q can be with us today, but we're going to represent for him. Tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
So Isaiah Stanback, born and raised in Seattle. Played a couple sports growing up, baseball, basketball, football, track. Went and got my college degree from University of Washington, played football there as a quarterback, got drafted by the Cowboys.
You goddamn right. That's why I wanted him to stop it. You ain't got to say nothing else. You ain't got to say nothing else.
Oh, my God.
Them goddamn boys. You ain't got to say nothing about that NFL team.
Got drafted, played 6 years in the league, 3 positions, and snuck a Super Bowl out with not the Cowboys. Snuck a Super Bowl out with the Giants.
Got you. Okay, you ain't had to do that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Other than that, got my MBA from George Washington University, and then started a business with this cat.
Dang. Yeah.
Hey, that's a long
I don't know how to
cat?
follow up.
Who's this cat?
And now Jared, go right ahead.
Yeah, so I ain't got all those accolades, but my name's Jared Harrison. I'm from H-Town. Born in Houston. Woodlands. Oh, Lord.
Woodlands.
Raised in the Louisville and Dallas-Fort Worth area. Played football, University of North Texas. Graduated from there.
Green.
That's it, baby. Kinesiology major, so I'm in a health promotion minor. I was diagnosed as a type 1 diabetic in 2009, so I played college football with that. And then, went through some things. Mom passed away, obviously with some illnesses and stuff, and then ran into this cat. And, we created Steadfast.
Man, tell us a little bit about Steadfast Fitness right now. My legs is burning from Steadfast.
Well, first, how did y'all meet?
Oh, man.
Yeah, so I was playing when I was playing for the boys, had a brand new crib and I needed some stuff. I was running back and forth to Home Depot and ran across some animated cat named Jack who said, "Man, I can come to your house, man, do some stuff if you need me to." And I was like, "All right."
That wasn't me. So that was my father.
So I started having him come over to the crib and started doing some handyman stuff for me, and then got close with him, had a good relationship, and then ended up meeting the whole fam. And this young tenderloin right here was his son. So got really tight with them, and that's kind of how we originally met.
You didn't tell him though. This cat was. I had woke up from like a nap. I didn't even meet this cat, and I walked downstairs. And when you got some 6'3" black dude with dreads sitting in your living room, you get shook a little bit.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Hey, bro, what's up?" He said, "Oh, I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for your pops. I'm waiting for your dad." I was like, "For what?" And then he was like, "Oh, we got to handle some work and stuff." And he was like, "Okay, cool. Kid you not, the boy had on some Air Maxes. And, I'm a shoehead. So I was like, "Hey, bro, them 97s is right. It was nice." And after that, I guess the rest was history. And we started working out together, do all that stuff.
Shoes brought you
Shoes.
together.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. First he was like, who this big ass nigga sitting on the couch? But you know what? You got on the right shoes. I fuck with you.
And boy, Air Max 97,
You know what I'm saying? So he know what he's doing.
Yeah, that's it. And then I was working at LA Fitness at the time. And doing a whole bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, he was working at LA, and I started doing off-season workouts. I think it might even actually been a lockout year. But I started doing off-season workouts at LA Fitness. So I was at the crib, drive down there, work out, and he was working there. So I invited him to start working out with me because I was the lone cat. I always do my own thing. So I was off in the cut. Everybody else over there doing their weights, and I'm over there doing agility work and everything else.
That boy was taking me over the tennis court rooms. The tennis court rooms supposed to be for tennis.
Well, because at that time, that's how cowboys train. You know what I'm saying? Hard as hell. Okay, so
I like my.
Okay, hey, that's about you being disrespectful.
Y'all ain't train hard for
You're being
95.
disrespectful. Respect greatness when you see the road. Number
You ain't
86
train hard
for the Cowboys
for
wide
95.
receiver. Okay, continue.
That's it, man. So I like to work out in my own little zone. I don't like being out in the forefront of everything. So I will always ask if I can go work out in a little tennis room. And I invited Jerry to come start training with me, and he started working out with me. And fast forward, started trying to think about the transition from football over to the real world, and started thinking about fitness, and I was in the middle. At the time, I was getting my MBA, so I was trying to figure out what life was going to look like.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody else seemingly knew what they wanted to do. I didn't know what I was going to do. I was still playing ball.
Right.
And I was like, okay, I think I want to start a fitness facility. The wife at the time was pregnant, so I was thinking prenatal. Trying to think how I take care of women who are prenatal.
Right.
Also trying to figure out the other aspect, and I was like, you know what, I need somebody else that can kind of hold it down with me, who knows a little bit more. But at the time, knew a little bit more than me in the industry. I knew the passion I wanted to pursue, wanted to bring faith, fitness, and fun all into one environment, and do it in a way in which everybody can feel welcome. Because at the time, it was really much just like weight loss and performance. Like those are usually the two spots you can go to. There's really nothing in between. So when I started thinking about that, I had built a relationship with Jared. He was like my little bro at the time. And I was like, hey man, would you want to come in on something like this with me? And that's kind of how it kicked off.
Nah, that's dope, man. That's dope. Yeah, man. It's been pretty cool to watch the growth from you guys. When I remember when Jared, we was at 24 Hour Fitness, and he kept talking about, man, I'm about to do something big with doing Stanback, and I was like, who's that? And he was like, Cowboys, blah blah blah.
Who is that?
You know what I'm saying? And
That's a very valid question.
No, well, he doesn't know because he's an Eagle / Pittsburgh Steeler. But I know when you say that name, I know.
But anyway,
who that is.
They got 6 of them.
But that's all I'm gonna say.
We got 5.
Yeah, and since
like
95, you ain't got.
Hey.
That's another subject for another day. But I didn't know at the time, you know what I'm saying? So he was telling me, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I looked the cat up, and I was like, okay, cool, that's what's up, bro. And me and Jared, we was been cool like since you was a little young warthog, you know what I'm saying? So like grinding, bro.
So you was at UNT during what years?
Man, 2011, or excuse me, 2008 through 2011. So I was there,
Okay, so that's what I was saying. I graduated in 2012. So you was there during that whole aggravated series, weren't you? Like, did you play intramurals?
Intramural.
No. Well, you played for UNT.
Oh, with the hazing stuff.
No. I'm saying you played for UNT.
Yup.
So you didn't get to play. You wasn't allowed to play.
Intramural, the first year I played intramural.
But did you hear the team called aggravated?
You know what? I do remember that.
They were trash.
And they were like the Patriots.
They were
cheated.
trash.
You know what I'm saying? A lot.
Y'all was winning everything.
You know what I'm saying? We got like 2
Everybody.
It was winning everything.
We didn't lose
I'm
nothing.
just curious. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on, we got an audience member from Aggravated. Was Aggravated good?
Oh!
Was Aggravated good?
There's 2 of us.
I'm just saying, we was undefeated.
By
Everything
good
good.
as you mean
Don't do that.
cheating?
Don't come for us.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Why else would we be talking about an intramural team
And where we got an NFL
midnight
player
on
on here.
Sunday?
Yeah, because
You
we're
know,
that
well, first of all, I was just talking because I knew he went to UNT,
probably
so
better
I was
than
just curious.
North Texas at the
You're
time.
right.
Exactly, he
So
just went
it is
to
what it
UNT,
is.
but it's cool.
Yeah.
It's
We was the truth. It's cool though.
It's
It's
cool.
cool.
It's cool.
But
It's
by the
cool.
way, we was, since you was a little young warthog, we was getting it in. You know what I'm saying? So I saw your grind. So it was pretty cool to see when you guys transitioned over to that. And even though I was like allergic to weights, I would come around time to time, and they would literally try to get me in there to work out. I finally got into boot camp Friday.
Side note, I've known this man, almost 14, 15 years, and I saw him work out for the first time.
I mean, it
Right.
shows that he does not work out. Like,
And
look at
you
his
know,
little
yeah, it just
Bullhead.
yeah. Don't get mad.
You know what I'm
Cause I ain't
saying?
have to do it.
You know,
Frank.
like-
Come on, cup your chest, cup your meat.
Hey, first
Okay.
of all, the ladies like,
Whoa. Calm down over there.
Hey, Cowboy, we on the same goddamn team, right?
I mean, you got your chest out.
I understand that.
You got the Birdman Jr.
Don't talk about my bird.
Yeah, Bird.
This is why you asking about the vest, because right now you firing shots. So this is why we have the vest.
I looked over and I saw skin. I'm sorry.
Alright.
I looked over and I saw skin. I couldn't help it.
Oh my God.
Shock.
But anyway, y'all transition was pretty dope, man. And what are you guys transitioning over from Capel? Now you're over in Louisville, but you're doing some different things right now that I was just a part of on Friday, man. You guys want to elaborate on what's going on now? How are you guys moving forward?
So we actually was in Flower Mound.
It was
Flower
Mound
Mound
first.
first. So we was 1,300 square feet, like 900 square feet working space. So we was in small, about as big as this room.
Mm-hmm.
And then Capel, and then now we're back in Louisville. So we feel like now we've got an opportunity to kind of expand our horizon. We're on a platform now where we kind of put all of our footwork into it. We got all the customization going on in the facility. We're a family-based facility, so now we have that exposure to all the families now. You got people who can see us on a daily basis. Before we were in a square box. You walk in and you got to walk a long hallway before you even see what's going on.
Right.
So our vision was to, you know, be in a place where, like you said, we can meet, you know, faith, fitness, and family can all come together in one spot. And in that first initial spot, we didn't have a lot of space, so we couldn't bring the masses. And then once we got to Coppell, we started seeing the ball get rolling, and we started realizing how much of an impact we could have on the community. So with that community aspect, when we moved to Louisville, our engine's rolling. So it's just a matter of now polish up everything, fine tuned it in the past couple of years, and now we're hitting on all cylinders.
Yeah, I get what I like to see that y'all done. Y'all pulled the black community out to start working out. That was always a thing that was a struggle with us for getting black people to come out and actually work out consistently, man. And y'all seem to do that. You got a question over there?
I do.
What's up?
How did COVID affect you guys?
COVID shut us down. So from the business aspect, you know, it forced our hand as it did many people, right? So it either forced you to step up or forced you to shut down. And, you know, we're being competitors and being faith-based. There was no way we was going to shut down. So they shut our business down because the fitness industry obviously had to close their doors. So for 3 months, we had to close our doors. Right?
Y'all
So
was going virtual, right?
So with those doors being closed, we couldn't facilitate business. Also, we looked at taking our first move was we loaded up our bunch of little trailer things. We're about to take it to the parks, right? Started training people at the parks. Well, they said nobody at the parks, right? So we were like, okay, well, we have to turn this thing virtual, which one of my mentors had been trying to push me to do anyway for years before that. So we went to a virtual platform, and we had to make a decision. Do we want to? What are we about? What's our foundation? And our foundation was community. So we felt the need to serve. During that time period, instead of trying to ask for money, so we started doing 5 days a week. We would do virtual boot camps. So we would, our days would start off with Jared and myself waking up in the morning, and we use that opportunity to do a self-analysis over our business. So we broke our entire business model down. We would look at our revenue. We looked at areas where we can cut back. We looked at areas where we can grow, where we can scale, and we looked at just really trying to focus all of our attention around the actual service that we're providing. And with that, we tore the entire model down and built it back up. But during that time period, we were still serving everybody virtually and trying to keep that community together. So we were generating absolutely no revenue whatsoever during that time period, but we got better. We got better during that time period where we saw everybody else really kind of going away. Right? Unfortunately, a lot of small businesses didn't make it through COVID, but we were blessed to not only get through it, but also come out of it better and prepared than we were going into it.
Man, and that's the part that I respect, because a lot of people, when COVID hit, a lot of people just was like, well, there's no coming back from this. They just gave up. But you see, like, he's sitting here like saying, well, how can we do this? Or how can we do this? How can we, cut back on certain things, improve on this and do on that? Like, it's always a way to keep going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
it's
what doesn't kill you make you stronger.
It's very difficult for people to not naturally have the victim mindset. I think that's natural, right? So when something bad happens to you, you become a victim, right? It happened to me, right? So now all of a sudden I'm the one who's on the receiving end of it. But because we really founded our whole business model on faith, and the verse, 1 Corinthians 15:58, be steadfast. Like, steadfast is the name of our company. So there's no way that we were gonna be leaning on the foundation of steadfast and not be that through that situation, right? Jared has dealt with diabetes. Jared's lost his mom. My daughter has type 1 diabetes. I've had a ton of injuries. Like, everybody has a story, right? So if anything, you use those experiences as testimonies, to help somebody else or to show your perseverance through it. So it was an opportunity for us to really show our faith and really come out of that. And thank God we were able to do so. We made a lot of changes, but we came out of it.
Man, yeah, that's good to hear.
I want to say I'm proud.
Yeah,
I'm proud
for real,
man.
for
For sticking with it, because you don't see a lot of people doing that or have that type of mindset. So I'm really proud of y'all for sticking with it and flourishing that y'all are doing right now. It's great. I've only been to the gym one time, and that was the one that y'all had in Coppell. And I was very impressed. Like, he was cutting my hair out of there and everything like that, and I got a chance to tour. And then I didn't even know that it was your gym and your gym as well.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so I was just getting a haircut, and I was like, okay. And then he said, it's black owned. And I love hearing it. Yeah. Anything black owned, I love hearing about it. Knowing more about it.
And that's crazy. That's what we push on this show as well. And we push on the black-owned business commercials and things of that nature. We actually make them for the black-owned business on top of this. So it's pretty cool, man, to be able to see the growth in what y'all have done, man. And I'm beyond proud of y'all, bro. Like, for real. It's been amazing, bro. But I want to get into this here in a minute, and we definitely gonna get into some of that COVID. We're gonna get into that.
I ain't gonna touch it because it's one of our rivals' rings. I ain't trying to touch it.
It's okay. You can look right at it.
Yeah, you know, little giants. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
We definitely gonna get into that, man. But right now we're gonna go ahead and pay some bills. We'll be back in a minute. I'll be damned. Hey, welcome back to I'll Be Damned. As we said, we're gonna jump right into this topic of this Super Bowl ring. All right, I have never in my life seen one of these in person. It feel like a weight. It feel like I'm at Steadfast when I'm holding this mug. So, what took place on this? One, I'm gonna go ahead and jump to the question. How does it feel to win the Super Bowl ring? I mean, that's like a 1%, maybe less. That's less than 1%, right? Of the world that ever get a chance to get this feeling, man. What did it feel like?
It was pretty dope, man. I had been through a lot up to that point. Up to that point, I already had my 7th surgery. So I had 7 injuries, 7 surgeries. I had gotten fired multiple times. And at the time, the wifey was pregnant with our first. So it was a lot.
That's a lot going on.
It was a lot going on.
Yeah.
I actually was sitting at the crib halfway through the season. I was still waiting to get picked up, and then I got the call. The call while I was at the grocery store.
I don't want to touch it. You know what I'm saying? This a giant ring. You know what I'm saying? I'm with them boys. You know, the team that you got drafted by. You know what I'm saying? So without them, guiding you. When you first got into the league, you probably wouldn't have ended up with this, you know what I'm saying? But, I don't want to touch it because I don't want cooties, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I mean, it's all right. You know what I'm saying? Got a little diamonds. You know what I'm saying? A little more rings, you know what I'm saying? I always got 5 of them, you know? So,
Yeah.
But it's cool if you into that type of stuff. It's cool. You want to see it? You want the paper towel? Yeah, hold the paper towel.
Choke your ass down.
I'm so petty.
Yes, you are.
No, it was cool though, man. I mean, it was an experience. I've always had an issue with really just kind of basking in the moment of something.
Yeah.
I'm always looking ahead at what's next. So it was a great experience. Obviously, it was pretty dope. The whole journey, and blessed to definitely have gotten away with one of those things because there's a lot of guys way better than I've ever been that didn't have opportunity to walk away with those things, man.
Yeah.
So.
Do you know how many arguments you can end? Like, you know what I'm saying? When dudes come at you. But you know what I'm saying? Like say if Brandon Marshall came at you, like, bro, I had stats, I played 17 years in the league. You see his little I am athlete shit. He always speak very highly of himself, but he be like, hey, you got one of these? No. Okay.
Hey.
Yeah. Sit your ass down. All right. Yeah.
But for every one of those, there's other guys that have multiple of those.
I mean, it's cool. I just need one.
No. So like, I work for the Cowboys now, right? Doing a lot of broadcasting
Bring
stuff.
it back home.
And I don't even that's not even something I bring up. It's not even a conversation I bring up because Big Nate got what 3, 4 of them joints.
Yeah, that's he's part of Great Wall. So
yeah. So there's guys that I'm surrounded around that have done this, and that's like, yeah.
I'm just saying, no, you can't talk to them. I'm saying the dudes that ain't got one. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you need to shut the hell up.
Hey, you always get humble. There's always somebody to humble you.
You know what I'm saying? T.O., he's...
Whoa.
Okay, listen, I'm just saying, Hall of Famer.
Okay.
My favorite receiver. But he ain't got no goddamn ring.
T.O. just text right now, he gonna shut your ass up.
T.O., I fucking love you, bro. If you watching this, you my favorite receiver of all time, but I'm just saying.
With that being said, with playing with somebody like Tom Brady, like put like this, I ain't gonna lie, I can't stand Tom Brady.
The cheater.
I cannot stand Tom Brady. But for most people, I respect Tom Brady, but I can't stand Tom Brady. How was it playing with that type of dude?
At TB12, yeah, I'm spoiled, man. I've been with some really some of the top coaches ever to coach the game, and I've been with some of the best players ever to play the game. But TB12, I mean, he gets what he's worth, man. He gets those rings, and that's what he does. He's one of the toughest competitors I've ever played with. When you think about tough competitors, you think about somebody who's physically imposing. That's not him. He's mentally imposing.
Okay.
TB12, he prepares better than anybody mentally, and that's why he gets.
That's why he wins. What about Randy?
Yeah, 8-1.
He a different cat.
I like how you got the
Mouse.
nickname. You know what I'm saying? They don't call them by their name. They call them by their name. A1.
Yeah,
Oh, TB12.
That was my locker mate, man. So when I was in New England, I went out there as a quarterback. So when I got released by Dallas, the next phone call I got was from Bill Belichick, and I went out to there to go play quarterback. So I spent half of my time in the quarterback room, half my time in the receiver room. So I was spending a lot of time with 12 and A1. And Moss that's my dog, man. He keep it 100.
Yes,
keep
he
it
does.
100, and he's we had a lot of great discussions just sitting there, just being locker mates. Smart dude, man. Smart dude. Work ethic out of this world. Again, he had gotten to that. That was the time of his career where he was kind of winding down. But he he went from being like just that physically demanding type guy to just I'm just smarter than you.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be more savvy than you, right? I mean, I know all the tricks of the trade.
Right.
I know how to read coverages. I know how to get away with little things. So I was in the candy store.
Right.
I had just got done playing with Jason Witten and
You know what I'm saying? The real
Terry
dudes.
Glenn,
You know.
and,
The real niggas.
you know.
Rest in
Squad.
peace,
That was
man,
the
too,
boys
by
had
the
the
way.
Squad.
Yeah,
Right, exactly.
I
You know
go
what I'm
from
saying?
playing with guys like that to now all of a sudden I'm underneath Bill Belichick, and I get to sit in the room with Randy Moss, Tom Brady, and Wes Welker, who's another dog too.
Yeah.
So what was it like playing for? Tell us about Bill Belichick as far as a coach. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Because there's a lot of rumors. I want to know the real.
no, like for real, like, cause bro. Let's just get to the nitty gritty. You know what I'm saying, real quick. 'Cause you know what I'm saying. We talking about the NFL, so I want to know some shit. Everybody has seen Any Given Sunday.
Yeah.
Were they spot on
In what
with how
regard?
NFL is as far as like lifestyle or the game?
No, I mean,
Yeah.
I keep a small circle, so I didn't partake
Oh,
in some of those
hell.
things that you
Damn.
did. So,
Damn.
yeah, so I didn't partake in any of those things. But no, out there in New England, it's totally different culture. So
It
Dallas,
is.
when I came to Dallas, it's marketing headquarters. Everybody was, hey, what do you have? What do you drive? What are you wearing? What kind of watch you got? Like it was all
Right.
about
That's
the
what
good
Dallas
things.
is
Like,
like?
that's what Dallas is like. And then
He's talking about Dallas like
and then you go to New England and don't nobody care.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's why I asked you.
Don't nobody care. Like you
Because
park in the back of the
clearly-
parking lot. Nobody cares if you drive.
Right,
It's
you
like,
made the transition.
Do you think that affects
absolutely,
the caliber of playing?
absolutely. So Dallas had substantially more talent than any team I've ever been on. Not even a
But
competition.
the coaching, what would
The
you
culture.
say? What the culture?
Culture.
But what about the coaching?
The coaching has an effect on the culture, but the thing is, when you have a revolving door with coaches, you don't establish a culture.
Exactly.
So
That was
And
the
then when
Garrett,
you got
the Garrett
to-
guys, right?
Garrett was offensive coordinator.
Yeah, exactly. So when you got to
You know, I had to
so-
throw that shadow
Well,
on it.
the thing is, like, it's all.
No.
The thing in New England, you get rewarded. You don't really get rewarded. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, respect is your reward in New England.
Yeah, it's what you're
So,
supposed
it's,
to
so,
do.
so that's
Right.
that's the true
This is your
reward.
job.
So
This is what you do.
I call myself getting to the facility early, right? Like I get to the facility like 6 o'clock. Meetings start at 7:30. I'm there early. They were already in meetings. Captains of the team were already meeting with coaches. The things that they have plastered on the wall, the expectation level when you walk into a meeting room and everybody's scrambling around trying to study their books because Coach Belichick's going to grill you in front of the whole team is just different, right? The expectation was different. If you didn't meet that expectation, you weren't going to be there. If you weren't selfish, you weren't going to be there, right? So there were so many things about that environment, that culture that I learned. In addition to just work ethic, it was just not even in comparison to Dallas. No disrespect.
And that's what no for real.
Yeah.
That's why I was getting at, because even though I'm a Cowboy fan,
Yeah.
been in Dallas since day one. That's why I was asking, because what was when you were at Dallas and you transitioned to New England, what was the difference? And that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying, because I know, you know what I'm saying. I'm
Yeah.
not
No,
gonna say
I mean,
everyone
that's
Cowboys
really
like,
what it was. I
We're
mean,
America's team, and no, we got.
If you would have took that Dallas roster that I was a part of and put that in New England,
They would've killed.
It would have
We
been
would
unstoppable.
right, and that's why I was saying.
Yeah,
So
so-
that's why I was saying.
Would you say that with Steadfast, you model more after New England?
It's a good question.
I like
Good
that.
question. Absolutely.
I think the principles of it are definitely in similarity.
Okay.
We're all about culture and that foundation. If the culture and the foundation isn't set, you can't flourish. You can't move forward. And we don't like people to impede on what we do, but if that culture is what it is. So if you try to come in and try to act a different way or try to bring in something else that's going to be poisonous or conflict, like it's not going to work. There's no molding from that. Like we have our foundation, we can build from here and grow from here. But if we're not on the same accord on that, we don't wish any ill will upon anybody.
It's just not a good fit.
It's just not a good fit.
Because y'all all the time are always positive. I mean, I ain't never hurt so much in my life but feeling good. Because y'all just kept me upbeat. I was just like, I don't want to do this shit no more.
He just old, bro.
I am getting old.
Bro, he 40.
Whoa, don't push my age.
What did Conor McGregor say? You're 40. You're fucking 40. Okay?
Look.
You're 40.
October 20th. Be there. October 20th.
I mean, now, can we talk about something real quick? Because we actually had a showdown at
we
your
did.
gym. You know what I'm saying? I just came here to get a cut.
I remember.
You remember
We
this?
did,
Because you were
man.
there. So, and he came in like, he was there as well.
up.
I came in for a cut, and that's all I wanted was a cut.
This was on the
This
turf.
was on the turf. And, you know, Ann was saying, hey, man, like, we was talking about a little aggravated thing, UNT and stuff like that. And I was like,
I'll route you up right now.
I said, I'll route you up right now because he's a DB, I'm a receiver. You're a DB,
Yep.
and you're a receiver.
Yep, there we go.
So, you know what I'm saying, / quarterback. So I'm like, you know, I'll route you up right now. So he was like, bro, I mean, we can go out on turf right now. I said,
I remember.
Yes, he had to choose.
I had these shoes on. But guess what? You know what was going on with me? I stay ready.
He was ready.
I'm like Janae, hey, go. I stay ready. I went to the car, got the cleats or the shoes, and I came in. And you were saying, hey, bro, I'm quarterback.
And I got you.
And you know what I'm saying? So, to your knowledge, what do you remember about that?
Yeah, please. Yeah, let's hear it.
Well, first off, Ant put the Clippers down.
He did.
Ant
Mid
Clippers
clip.
down.
You can do
he
what?
was
I
cutting.
messed up my
He
good
was
cut trying to
cutting.
go out here and show and
I was training, and then I was like, "Yo, give me the ball. I got you. So I you know, not to brush my shoulders. I was throwing dimes.
You were.
I was throwing dimes.
Unexpectedly, too.
Like,
I
yeah,
did not
you know
need to throw the ball like that.
They put
He
this
was
all
dropping
in
the coach.
But
Hey.
initially, Ant came out and gave you that work.
Ooh.
Then you know, I
You look right. I think your memory's a little fucked up.
now,
First of all, now, if you mean by gave me that word, he went first? Okay. There's a but. What is this but? What is this but?
But I don't like butts.
Because like I said, I'm a receiver. I don't
do a lot of butts.
But I am an athlete. I will get out there and guard you if need
my
be.
boy, Sir, they call you Sir Charles.
They sure do. Thank you.
Sir Charles got off the line and gave Ant little dice.
And nothing but speed and distance.
That boy was gone. And then I threw the dime.
That dime.
I
And what happened to that dime? It was
caught.
exactly.
He was right.
Exactly. So
Then the next play, the next play, what
I don't
happened
know
here?
what you're talking about, but that was not.
Hold on. The next play, what happened here?
The next play, what's that DB? What's that? Well, if you had to name a DB in the league that was like A1, like
Revis
solid.
Island.
Oh, Revis.
Revis Island.
Okay.
Yeah. Your boy shut you down.
I mean,
no.
When he went receiver, he didn't shut me down. No. Because he got a chance to go again at receiver.
Did he put the Honda hands on him?
We didn't go again after that.
Was he Honda hands? Was he Honda?
Oh, no.
You know what?
It was a good battle. It was solid.
Why we have y'all right now? Because I know we got to get to.
Juju, your lady got the video.
She has the video. I don't know. That's why I'm glad you said that.
Post, what was this? It was a slant back comeback. I remember to this day it was boom, boom, slant back.
You wasn't even like that. It wasn't even like that.
That's what happened. You know the story.
You know what? So since
rounded that ass up.
It was definitely good. I mean, you was fresh getting a cut.
exactly.
You had just
so
got
I'm
a cut.
tired.
So
No,
I'm
tired.
First of all, nigga, you get exhausted. That nigga's playing me lines and shit. I'm sitting here spinning all goddamn day, dizzy. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm tired. So I'm getting out of here, you know what I'm saying, exhausted. So the fact that I had that much energy to wrap this nigga up is phenomenal. I should have that goddamn ring. Give me the damn ring. I should be the champ. Okay? It don't even fit me. That whole shit is okay. I should be the champ. Alright? I'm the champ. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know what? I'm gonna do it like this.
But I was standing on my feet for 8 hours.
You know what?
But you
Okay, to bring it back to
No, hold on.
No,
We're gonna bring it back. No, time out. We're gonna bring it
How
back.
you gonna bring
But
it
I'm
back?
gonna do this. I'm gonna do this first before we bring it back. We're gonna go to y'all's gym. We're going to do an episode. He doesn't even know about this. I am issuing a 5-route challenge to Ant.
You either wear cleats.
If you can, and we're gonna wear cleats. If you can stop me
on one of
What's
those
the bet?
5 routes.
I get your check.
You get my check.
And then you can get my check.
And if I get you on all 5 routes,
Where he work?
all you gotta do is stop me one time.
Where he work?
Boy, you better give me all your income tax.
One time. All you gotta do is stop me one time.
Where he work?
The challenge has been issued. All we gotta do, y'all can be the promoters.
Hey, is he like Tommy? He got a job?
He got a job.
Oh, I got a job.
He got a job.
I got a job.
Okay, so the
I
check
got a
gonna
job.
be a good check?
No, it's gonna be a good check. Yeah. So y'all set the date and the time, and it can be clean. It can be tennis shoes. That's what I rather them in the first time was tennis shoes. No grip shit. No grip. In these, you want them in these? You want them in these? I do them in these. I do them in these.
We can set
I do them in these.
as we about to bring it back, we can set the designated time, the designated place, and I was glad you designate your ass.
That's cool.
It's gonna happen.
That's cool. Now let's get to this young brother right here that's on the couch.
This is what you
Yes,
gotta do.
we will. We gonna get
They
on
got the
that.
same shoes on.
Yeah, y'all definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Grown men recognize grown men. You know what I'm saying?
We just got one with ankles and one without ankles. One got
Man,
the
never
socks
loved
on.
Didn't I tell y'all to stop talking about my ankles?
But this is my boy James Lucas, man. How you doing, James?
I'm good, man. Good to be here.
Man, I appreciate you coming out, bro. And I want to add a little bit onto you because you guys are in the same type of business. You are big in nutrition and fitness and wellness and things like that, right?
Yes, for sure.
Y'all want to tell us about yourself, man?
No doubt. So I'm James Lucas. I'm actually from Connecticut. Went to UConn. Been here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area for about 6 years now.
Okay.
I am a Cowboys fan, so just the undertone. So that's you know what I mean. That's what the shoes
Shoes come in. Goddamn right. Hey, Isaiah, rep. I understand where your ring come from, but rep.
Yeah, so I'm a registered dietitian and exercise physiologist as well. I used to work for Yale Hospital for several years, work with cancer patients, and now I work in the industry. I work with a lot of the hospital systems around the country.
Okay.
So I'm familiar with the diabetes, cancer, and any of the conditions. COVID-19 was big for us last year just as a dietitian. I work with a lot of the clinicians, talking to them about how nutrition optimizes outcomes and things of that nature.
How'd you get into that industry?
Actually, I grew up playing sports. Actually, played football, ran track. Not quite to the caliber of my, two dudes right here, but I ran about 23.9 in the 200 and about a 51 in the 400. So I'm competitive. I try to keep up, and I always wanted to be around.
Can you route both of them up?
I ain't gonna say anything. I'm humble. I stay quiet and I just let the work do its work.
That's a man right there. That's a good man. Yeah.
I know.
Y'all want to keep y'all haircut, keep it fresh. Keep it down.
So being around sports and all that, I always wanted to kind of be involved in that. In fact, kinesiology was what I first started at when I went to college. I didn't even know what nutrition was until I actually went to a class, and I was like, yo, this class is crazy. I was like, they're talking about how bones grow and all that.
Right.
I'm inviting my friends to the class like, yo, y'all gotta check this out, yo, this is crazy. they talking to chicks and stuff, you know what I mean? But I was always involved, staying passionate with it. And long story short, I just kept finding out more about it. I felt like it was God's destiny. Like, I was sitting at a bus stop and talking to this lady, and she was like, oh, you should talk to this person. And next thing you know, I'm just continuing to go after it. And you know what I'm saying? And I realized I actually wanted to be in the NFL playing sports. I think every young man's dream that plays sports is to get to that high level.
Right.
Definitely. So once I realized that I wasn't going to be playing in the NFL, I was like, I want to help athletes. Mm-hmm. And by being a dietitian, I'm working the best I can. Like, I'm on the field like a dietitian, like thinking about every single nutrient and all that stuff.
Right.
That should be at the focal point. Just like when you're talking about New England, getting to the practice earlier, all that kind of stuff. I want to come to that same level from a nutrition perspective for athletes and for people in the community.
So with your expertise on nutrition and health and wellness and things like that, I want to get into what you guys think about COVID-19 and then also the vaccination. What is your outlook on, what do you think as far as the vaccination? Like, how do you feel about people taking the vaccination? Is it something you agree with or you don't agree with?
I think it's a complicated issue. I'm not very trusting of the government or the order of medical system. That's my personal outlook. And in terms of, and I know it probably sounds very victim-ish, but African Americans haven't necessarily been treated the most fairly in those regards. So I'm very hesitant when it comes to anything medical-wise, when it comes to injecting anything to my body, especially things that alter my body's natural defense mechanisms, which what these shots do. They alter your body's ability to fight off, different diseases, different viruses, and things of that nature. This is actually changing your makeup in terms of what your body recognizes as what it should go fight. So I'm not personally a fan of it, but that's just me. That has nothing to do with anybody else. Like my mom got it, my dad got it. They're up there in age, obviously. But for myself, I still consider myself a spring chicken. Myself, my family, my kids, the wife, we're not fooling with it.
Right, and I remember we had a conversation in the barbershop with. You remember the guy's name? The video, the first one, that he was talking about, like he had a football term about how the vaccination works, and he was showing like he had a football play sitting up here, and he was like that once the vaccine goes into you, it's made to stop X. So X is now COVID-19. And so as the defense is set up to stop X, and if X runs a sweep here, the whole defensive team is in a pursuit angle to stop X. We're forgetting about trick plays as far as Y, B, and Z, and things of that nature, because it's only going and attacking those things, and it's forgetting about other things that could get into your system and harm you. And he had
other viruses that maybe present themselves down the road.
And it was I forget the guy's name, but he was like in the top 3 doctors and scientists on vaccines, and he came on there and was talking nationally about like how this vaccination wasn't correct about what they're doing. Now he's saying like he can't guarantee that it's 100% harmful, but it can't be guaranteed that it's helpful because of those things, that it's made to only protect certain things, because they did not have far as I forget the guy's name in China, but it had the vaccination, supposedly what would you call it, not ingredients, but the antibodies or whatever, and it was only notes that they were going off of. So a lot of different vaccination was being made off of notes that were left, and not necessarily what was 100% correct is what we was looking at. And so you get those things that we see, and then we get Dr. Fauci or him coming on and talking about it. And then the crazy thing about that, he actually messed himself up on TV a couple times, talking about it, saying even the one what he did with Marshawn Lynch, that was pretty funny. He let Marshawn Lynch be himself on there, which was pretty cool. But he was talking about like how it wasn't guaranteed. So why are we taking something that's not guaranteed that we don't know what's going on?
We had a hard time stopping the disease. You know what I'm saying? Like people going into hospitals dying. A lot of it was us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So how am I gonna put my faith in a vaccination?
Yeah, it's hard too, especially being African American, dealing with stuff back to Tuskegee, with syphilis and smallpox and other things. Your mind goes there, but not saying that these scientists, you know what I'm saying, because they have done great things, have made things that work. It's just our mindset, I think, goes automatically to know. They were showing 60% of Caucasians were getting it, but only 6% of African Americans were, which I thought was a crazy percent. They were scared to get it. They was interviewing multiple people, and they were scared for those reasons. It was going back from history of how they felt that we were being treated in this country, that we wasn't for sure about something like that. So I think that's where a lot of fear comes in, and not having the education on all that too hurts. Yeah. You got a question over there? Because I know you got the vaccine, didn't you?
I did. We all went to public school in here, right?
Sure did.
Who didn't go to public school? Okay, so y'all two might not have gotten vaccinated.
No,
I didn't.
Like for
I didn't.
Everybody in here has gotten some sort of vaccine at some point in their life.
I have not.
Not.
Yeah, so that's
No. In schools, in public school, everybody had to get it.
No, I was literally.
There were exceptions.
Yeah,
based upon religion and other things like that too. So I know that's a point that some people bring up, but you also have to remember that wasn't something that was an option for you, right? So that wasn't a choice. So now that we're grown, we have the information, we have the ability to make decisions, and so many things. When I said if I wish I had the opportunity to talk to Dr. Fauci. Or any other doctor that's related to this, because I could ask them, what is this going to do to my body, ability to fight off anything else 5 years from now? And they can't answer that.
Yeah,
they can't answer.
They're not giving
So,
a long-term answer.
I mean, and the fact, and I guess it's more personal probably for myself and Jared because, they can push out and again, this is just my thoughts, right? If they can gather the troops together, right, to force something out in 6 months. Why can't they get that same energy to fix diabetes? Why can't they get that same energy to fix some of these other things, right?
Yeah.
That they fully have the research behind. So so it makes me start thinking. Things don't really start finding. There's not a resolution, and not to say that this doesn't work for COVID. I believe it probably works for COVID. But again, I'm thinking about the other things that are going to present themselves and your body's ability to fight it off. But it's kind of funny in this country, and obviously this is a worldwide pandemic. But in this country specifically, things don't happen. Things don't start. You don't start to find resolutions for certain things until it affects everybody. Yeah. Right? When certain groups start getting threatened and they start being being able to get touched. Now all of a sudden there starts becoming a resolution. It is very much so in the diabetes world too, and that's why I say it's personalized for us because there was no progress in diabetes.
Let alone it's deep in African Americans.
Yeah, there was no progress in terms of the diabetic community until other people started attaining type 1 diabetes. Now we have all kinds of technology behind it. Now there's all kinds of artificial pancreases that they're working on. All this stuff's starting to happen.
When it starts affecting,
a
certain group, then that's when we start getting the research. And
you got another question? Go ahead.
Well, no, I wasn't done.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so y'all are bringing up excellent points. So you're saying that they started pushing this out because it's affecting others, but one of our biggest fears is how it's attacking or how past vaccines were made to mess with us. So why do y'all feel that way about this one when y'all are saying right now it was pushed out to because it's attacking everybody? So why are we feeling now that this is gonna harm us?
Well, I know because I was a kid when I was taking flu shots.
couldn't
I haven't
make
taken a flu shot in years.
No. What I'm asking is what y'all's point y'all just said was that we have a fear of vaccines because of the past like Tuskegee experiments and all the other ones you mentioned. So what another point you just made was that it's affecting everybody. It's not just affecting black people. It's affecting everybody. So why are we now fearful of this vaccine when they made it so quickly because they want to get it out to everybody? It's not geared toward us. So why are y'all? Where's the black fear coming from?
It's not just black fear.
Right.
Race has nothing to do with this in regards to me. So obviously I don't trust the government because of
go.
things of the past and what happened to our culture and our race. That's history. Going forward, I don't trust the government. Period. When it comes to vaccinations, because of my body's ability to be able to do what it does. Right. So my faith is in God, not in some guys in a booth trying to put stuff together in terms of scientists. No disrespect, but it's too fast. Right. It was too fast for me and. Being nutrition, there's so many things that you can do. We know you rock your mask, you're good. that's 100%, right? You rock your mask, you're good, right? That's the one thing that we do know.
I mean,
if you buy the right mask, if you buy the right mask, right?
I'm gonna tell you right now.
If you buy the right mask,
I ain't got no wood to knock on, but I ain't called COVID at all. My girl has been around COVID.
Yeah.
She probably could have brought it to me. I have yet to catch it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just sitting here like, okay, what the hell is this man supposed to do?
What's funny,
Like,
my man in the back, like, yeah, we're
You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm like, nigga, I feel like a fucking superhero because I'm like, nigga, I ain't caught a goddamn thing. Y'all like, and nigga, I caught COVID last week. Nigga, I ain't caught nothing. So I'm sitting here like, what's this?
Now that we know it.
Now we know it. But I'm about to go on a trip to Cancun, so I gotta get tested.
Yeah,
So I'm about to see. So
We're going to get to your
I'm gonna play my fancies
question.
about I got it.
He had his up first. Go ahead. You had a question?
Wait, so I have
Exactly, I
a
know.
question.
Okay.
If the hesitancy is about the government, what exactly regarding the government? Because the government doesn't make the vaccine. The vaccine is made by pharmaceutical companies.
absolutely,
The
bro.
three of which
But the
are
government,
approved in America.
But money's tied in.
Funds,
Buys
vaccine,
and
yeah.
distributes them.
Yeah.
So are we worried that they're tinkering with them after that? Because
Yep.
they don't make the vaccine.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
They put their money behind it.
Exactly.
Anything that America has put their money behind is had control.
And then when we say, "Hey, we're working on a vaccine," we have the vaccine. You're expecting everybody to trust that this vaccine works. I'm like, nah.
There's nothing the government, from my history, have had money in that they don't control. If people put money behind something, they got some control behind it. We'll get to yours in a second. Hers was next. Go ahead.
Okay, so the issue for me is the inconsistency.
Yeah.
So first we have COVID, okay? It's affecting everybody.
Mm-hmm.
They hurry up make this vaccine, right? Then they tell you wear the mask, they protect you. Then they telling you, well, I don't know if the mask protects you because people still get COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Then they tell you, okay, well, once the vaccine comes, you're gonna be good. Everybody's gonna be able to go
For a
back to
little
normal
while.
life,
For a little while.
and live with. Now people got half the world and got the vaccine. Okay, well, no, you still gotta go out. You gotta wear your mask. You still gotta social distance. Oh, and by the way, you can still catch COVID if you have the vaccine.
Coming from
There are
Dr.
different-
Fauci's mouth, actually.
So with that being said, now they're like, okay, well, you can still catch COVID now that you have the vaccine, but it'll keep you from dying and keep you from putting in the hospital. Okay, well, now there's people that don't have the vaccine,
That
they're
are
in the
dying.
hospital, and they don't know if they're gonna make it because they got COVID after they got the vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
So the point is that you're telling us all this, but you are backtracking. Nothing that you're telling us is.
It's a research
It,
study.
yeah, I feel like we're researching it.
It is.
Oh, wait a minute. Like, this is happening in real time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We're not reading about influenza of 1918. So we can read about everything that took place then, and we clearly know how to treat that now. Problem solved. We're talking about polio. At one time, polio was a pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And then we developed vaccines, and now polio is pretty much non-existent.
Mm-hmm.
But all of that is things
But-
that took place decades
yeah.
ago.
See, you get polio one time, right? You get a shot, right? And
But
we
they
don't
did
have
not
to,
know
and
that
now
at
they
the
want you to
time.
get a booster shot. You got to get it every
Because
6
we're
months.
learning about this in real time. Like, it sounds like everybody's looking for a magic bullet, something that's 100% effective.
But my whole
and
thing,
100%
you
has
can't.
no side effects, and no one takes that. In
You
anything
can't
that
you
they
can't be
like.
a leaders of the country and come out and tell someone information that's false.
Mm-hmm.
That's my issue.
Don't
Don't say
in real time. You don't know that it's false.
But you're coming back.
tell them what you
can't
learned.
say this 100% and then come back and say it's 60.
When did they ever say anything? was
Well, I
100%?
wish I could pull
What
it.
in this world has ever
But you
been
got
done?
Dr. Fauci.
Dr. Fauci.
And it seems like, bro, they're trying to get Dr. Fauci to say certain things so they can make money. And Dr. Fauci's like, nigga, I'm not finna lead these people astray and tell them something that you want me to tell them and it's
You know
wrong.
what? We don't know what he's gonna do to you.
Exactly.
Let's do this. Everybody go do the research. We're gonna come back to this topic definitely. You know what I'm saying? And then I do want you guys to watch the interview between Dr. Fauci and Marshawn Lynch. It's fucking hilarious. Like I've never seen a nigga be a nigga with the government.
But I mean, because you ask simple questions,
There were
it's
some
common
things.
sense.
There were some things in there too. So just to kind of give a synopsis of all of this, like you said, do your research, make the best decision that's for you, what you're most comfortable with. I'm only speaking from me, right? I know what works best for me, and that's eating healthy, that's living healthy, and that's protecting myself the best way I know how, wearing my mask, all those kind of things. At the facility, we have all kinds of different policies that we have in place. You must wear gloves at the facility because we know sweat, contact, all that stuff. So there's things that you can control what you can control, but it feels like this is an experiment because they don't know enough about it. And yes, it's happening in real time, but because it's happening in real time, they're trying to push out medicine at the same time. Vaccines is in real time, and it's not working. Right, and also,
you gotta be consistent on your explanation and your communication.
Yeah.
Like, so if there is a lack thereof of research and you don't know for sure,
Don't
like
say that.
you can't go off and say something like, oh, okay, this is a fact, this is a known fact. It's not.
Well, it's like the Johnson
So-
and Johnson, right? They just shut down Johnson and Johnson because it was having major blood clots, right? And then all of a sudden, right? Hey, we already put all this money behind it. No, this got to go back. Oh, okay. Well, Johnson and Johnson's okay again. That took less than a week.
Because of
Right?
what somebody said, not because nigga we did our research and this is good.
That's all I'm saying. And again, we're talking about just COVID. So everybody's and that's what's kind of scary to me. Everybody's focus right now is on just COVID. We don't know what this is going to do for our ability to be able to block anything else that might try to come in our system later on. And they don't know.
And then there's also, I read something, I didn't go in depth on it, but it said with fertility. It's saying it's making women
I'm just
infertile.
waiting everybody to turn into zombies so I can just start shooting niggas. I'm just saying, that's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen.
Hold on, you had a question. Go
Everybody
That's before America knew that COVID was happening, I was traveling. Okay, so before I even got here, I was internationally traveling, and so it was very hard for me to come back
home,
to
yeah.
America, right? But before y'all were doing masks and everything, like, I got here, when I did come back, y'all were fighting over, most people were fighting over toilet paper. They weren't in the vitamin aisle. Like, I could still get the vitamins, it wasn't, you know.
Yeah, vitamin D.
No one was doing masks. No,
Everybody took all the lights off.
Hey, I was like, hey, bro.
Yeah, but they've been doing masks, right?
They've been doing
Michael
masks,
Jackson
but
was doing
America-
masks for 30 years.
But America,
But he was just trying to hide his
America
kids.
was doing masks, right? Everybody was going into fighting over toilet paper without the mask on. But then all of a sudden, now these masks could protect us. Wait, COVID was been here in America.
Obama already had told us.
COVID-19.
Yeah, COVID was already here.
He told us about it.
19.
But I'm be honest,
Internationally, it was already
It
over
was
there.
so many different strands. that seemed
Right.
to come out.
So then all of a sudden, so when it goes back to these masks, I'm just like, wait, you know they were fighting over toilet paper with no mask on. And then the next week, masks protect everybody.
Psych.
No, COVID was already here because there was all these international people that was traveling back and forth,
Absolutely.
while America didn't know that COVID was going on because COVID was going on internationally.
They were very
What'd you have?
I think one thing for us to consider is that in the Black community, we have a lot of pre-existing conditions that they haven't done the research on. So with oncology, with diabetes, with things like that, they don't have long-term information on how this is going to affect our pre-existing conditions. So that's one thing. And then another thing is that we're unlearning so much stuff. So now we're in the internet era. My mom is so much more aware of, oh my gosh, I probably shouldn't have vaccinated you guys. When we were going to public school, it's just like, that's what you do. In the 60s, that's what they did. They lined up and they got a shot, but they didn't really know what they were getting. And most of the time, they didn't understand that dynamic of, oh, they were testing on us in past years. So I think we're a lot more aware now.
Yeah.
So that changes that for us, where we can look on the internet and be like, okay, the CDC is whistleblowing all these different vaccinations. You have the information out there. You have the ingredients out there. This doesn't sound right. We're eating better. We're doing so much more. So I think it's different now for us because we do have the research. We do have the information.
100%.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, there's a few things that I was thinking of as everybody was talking about this. So one, you could get COVID through your eyes too, right?
Yeah.
That's why people wear the eye shield.
Absolutely.
But you know, at the end of the day, we're susceptible to so many different things, right? COVID-19 could take us out. It may or may not. Well, another thing, back when they had the Spanish flu back in 1918, 100,000 or 100 million people died around the world.
Absolutely.
Did they have a vaccine after that?
Nope.
I'm not sure. It's survival of the fittest. You know what I'm saying? So I think like the nutrition, the exercise, all those pieces, we should continue to implement those things. For example, probiotics, they can help to reduce the transmission of COVID-19 from one person to the next. Vitamin D, everybody should be taking that regardless, especially for African Americans, those with darker skin. It's one of the most important vitamins
Hold
in
on,
the
you
world.
said what kind of skin?
Dark skin.
Dark skin.
That's what you said.
Yeah. So all y'all light motherfuckers is dead.
Also, you know, with the social distancing, I'm sure we all can think of this. It's taken away from our immunity as well. Back in the day, I remember one of my professors was like, yo, chicken pox, yo, go in the field
Everybody
with your
had
kids
these
playing and get that shit so that your immunity is strengthened. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's a lot of variables, but as you were mentioning last point, as far as our community and the chronic conditions, yes, my aunt just died from COVID-19. You know what I mean? And she was morbidly obese. Obesity is a significant risk factor for COVID-19 because it increases the replication of the virus. You know what I mean? So like the COPD, the diabetes, the obesity, when you have those combined, it's like,
it's like
take
adding
that
on.
vaccine because you got to get some kind of protection. You know what I mean?
I just feel like if everybody had a big mama, you know what I'm saying? She would have had a home remedy and this shit would have been cured by
Boy,
now.
they had high
You know what I'm saying?
cholesterol.
Baby, you got COVID-19, bring your ass in here. I got this, drink this goddamn.
real quick.
Like, for real, they would have made something.
Hot
by now.
toddies don't heal everything.
I'm just saying, Big Mama would have had a cure by now.
Hey, I was checking these different supplements out, man. Whoa, what happened? COVID. Did somebody just sneeze?
What just happened?
What in that Jesus name?
I'm sorry.
I need some vitamin D and C.
Hey, Lysol. When Lysol?
No, no, somebody back there. I said something about Big Mama, and this nigga said it was all just Robitussin. I said, I'm so sorry.
If I infect you, I'm so sorry. If I infect you, boy, we on I Am Legend.
Done.
Oh my God.
The whole body.
Hey, so but you don't do that again. But you've been in the trenches and break it down real quick. Bring it down. With you having been in this field, what do you feel about supplements and dietary supplements and things like that? Are you agreeing with things like this, or do you disagree with them?
Yeah, I think supplements definitely have their place. You know what I'm saying? Depending on if you're working out, looking at your diet, there could be deficiencies. It's really hard to meet all the vitamins and minerals through your diet. You know what I'm saying? So I think supplements have a potential role, and there's a lot of different supplements too. So it all depends. Like if we're talking performance supplements, or if we're talking like
just like a pre-workout.
Yeah, like pre-workouts and things of that nature, they could be beneficial. A lot of companies, they can use different changes where they're like not telling you all the ingredients. They're like saying it has this or that, and it's not really effective, right? But something like this, like just looking straight at it, this Anti-Up, by Revolutionary Supplements, it's showing you what's in it, based upon the daily percentage value, what I'm saying? So like vitamins and minerals, that can help to support your general energy needs, during your workout, afterwards, and so forth. But a lot of these pre-workouts are gonna have caffeine.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the number one
why I mean this mug at the gym
ingredient.
like
Yes. You know what I mean? So caffeine can be helpful. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna help to increase your energy, your focus, your alertness. But some people like to use more natural supplements like beetroot extract, for example, super popular.
What? Okay, I got a question. When it tells you what's in the actual, the actual bottle or what's in here, how do we know that's 100% sure? Because I done told somebody I done put a little crown with a little coke. A little more crown and a little more coke. You know what I'm saying? I done kind of, elaborated a little more on what I done put in the drink before. So how do we know for sure this is exactly correct?
Yeah, well,
McDonald's say they put a lot of shit in there that's correct, and I don't believe it.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, the highest badge of approval is NSF certified, and my man probably knows that. NFL players, they gotta be super, super careful as far as what products they take.
Because like metabolic steroids, stuff like that.
Yeah, they could be banned substances that they're not, listing on the ingredient list. But NSF certified is the highest of quality, and they make sure that every single ingredient is checked, and they tell you exactly what's in it. There could be some other badges that you'll see, like you'll see a lot of companies have a certified good manufacturing practices, which should be standard. There's some other, USP is another one. This one is mentioning that it's lab tested. You could go online and look up products and see if they've been checked and certified as well. But I think those factors come into play for the professional athletes more because of the risk of there being a banned substance test.
Right.
But otherwise, like for the general layman that's going to the gym like you and I, it's really about trying the product, seeing how you feel, looking at the ingredients, and if you're feeling that it works, it's probably cool.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you could always look at transitioning to like the NSFs and things of that nature if you like.
I actually like that, man. I took that I will never take 2 scoops again. I'll tell you that. 1 scoop, I was good, but at 2 scoops, I was text messaging like this, no bullshit. I was in here like parts.
Nobody can handle all that.
Calm down. Calm your ass down. Don't play with me, cuz. What was the date we picked to round his ass?
Yeah, 1 scoop for both of y'all.
Next time, just give him some children.
Oh, okay.
Just give him some children's
Tylenol, and he'll be just fine.
Well, what you think? Robitussin? We're gonna take some Robitussin. But no, I definitely appreciate you guys coming out, man. Where could we actually find your information or get in touch with you at, man? Let us know.
You can find me at jlucas_nutrition.
Already. All right. And what about you guys, Steadfast?
Yeah, Steadfast FP, and
you might see him on a commercial.
Oh,
well, yeah. Oh, real talk. While we in this, we gonna talk about this. What was it? The Frito-Lay's commercial for the Super Bowl. He was in a Frito-Lay's commercial. He was the one jumping over the couch during the Super Bowl.
After I had the Andy up right here.
Yeah, the one with Marshawn and Dak and Zeke.
You was in there?
Yeah. He's the the one with the dreads popping up over the couch.
Oh, the couch.
Oh, Lord, here we go.
You see how high he jumped over that couch?
Don't forget the Fabletics commercial.
Oh, and Fabletics commercials too. That's how I know that he was in commercials because he only called to get a cut from me. When he got a commercial, he got a backup barber, right?
Right?
Yeah. So he be like, "Hey, I'm gonna need you for this one because I gotta go in. I got."
Hey, and he coming through the
I need a backup.
Yeah. He had me at the shop at midnight cutting to get up to work me out the bus.
He pay you that midnight money though, right?
You know, we you know, he's my guy. We make sure.
Oh, y'all DBs, y'all
You
DBs
good.
and shit.
You finna
Oh
learn.
yeah, and I'm just gonna say, even though I'm supposed to route you up, you a DB, so we automatically don't like
Let's do it.
you know, receivers. So you
You
gonna
trying to get a double ass whooping?
Nah, yeah. Isaiah, I need you there for just for support because you receiver. You know what I'm saying? So I just
He
need
got
you
a
there.
ring, so he already accomplished.
Right,
He
yeah,
good.
yeah.
He-
Hey, what you gonna do? He just gonna help
He get
you.
this work too.
No, he's just gonna help you with this stretch.
I said,
Oh,
my crowd 2 tears in the bucket. Take it to the stage.
The bacchiotomy there, boy. Watch
Hey.
out, boy.
That boy weighed about 117 ounces there, boy.
Hey, what? Hey. I don't know. Look at his leg. What?
Whoa. Foul on the plate. Hold on.
She wasn't ready. She wasn't ready.
Put on that chicken wing that you grabbed and just be like,
Hey,
I don't want that right there.
the chicken wing got good protein in that boy.
Well, most of Rev, I really appreciate you guys coming out, man. We need more information about this. It's not going to be the last show we're going to have on this because you got to think now that social media, being able to see stuff like that from our own people has getting more black people out there to start work out. It went from, you know, I'm black and I'm beautiful with their gut hanging out to 30-day challenge and transformation. You know what I'm saying? Like real talk. Like
It's awesome. It's awesome that our community is finally coming around in terms of and whatever mechanism it takes, right? Whether it's people trying to show their tails, females trying to show what they got going on, or fellas trying to get female. I don't care. Whatever brings them to that point where they can start looking on the inside and start taking care of themselves. Let it be what it is. I'm happy that people are our community is starting to take better care of themselves, starting to research and starting to figure it out for themselves.
Right.
Just continue to do your research, man. Don't go off what somebody else said. Do your research. There's no reason why we shouldn't be able to gain the information that we need. I see you there, boy. You ain't
And by the way, guys, we're not pushing anybody away from getting vaccinations. If that's what you want to do, that's for you. Just ain't for your boy. You know what I'm saying? I'll be damned. We be out.